we have these very famous schools. For example, in Los Angeles, there's a fantastic special situation there. Of course, also in Columbia, Yale, and these other universities. But in America, for example, there are a few very, very good schools, and they have absolutely, they are looked at from the gallery world. But as there is a certain kind of symbiosis between this very small gallery world that is controlling a big part of the art world and these art schools, we have a very closed art system. And what we, in fact, discovered in our research was that, of course, there were all kinds of experimental things going on. We did include, for example, the artist Ibarra from Los Angeles, who was a social worker. In fact, in Los Angeles, he was not defining himself or looking at his work as a art practice, but more as a social activities, using a certain kind of form to put light on a certain kind of social justice and problematics. But in general, what we saw, despite of these very fragmented experimental things that we were able to find, it was that, in fact, we did not find a new movement in America. And we saw that the school system, and that is again a little bit interesting concerning the danger of the overemphasizing of the school, because the artists that we found, they were more or less, putting it a little bit roughly, they were doing and they were creating preconceived works of art. And that, what you can see, in fact, the last 5 to 10 years, I would say after Machiavelli, we have a situation in America that is, in fact, a variation towards this kind of how they are creating art as art should look like. But in our American experience, there were maybe, and that was Hazul that came on, it was the political dimension that was totally new. We can always say that Andy Warhol was political. I mean, that's one thing. I mean, we have a tradition of fluxus artists, political artists in America, but they have not been so very much into the commercial market. But now we have this young generation, which absolutely has come out and is creating under the shadow of the Bush administration, and this new war situation in America has created a new kind of connection between the artists and their society. And they have created absolutely a certain kind of critical distance. And it's they don't see themselves as only Americans, and they don't identify with the system. And they are, even though they are sons of Warhols, they are sons of Jeff Koons, they are sons of Richard Prince, but they have a totally different kind of attitude towards the content and the narratives of what they are dealing with. Jeff Koons, he has never questioned himself as an American artist. It has never been an issue for him. But these artists that we met in the last 5 years, they were so preoccupied by, of course, this kind of political situation that they did not adjust to or accept, and that gave them also a certain kinds of a possibility to define themselves in a different kind of context. And so most of the references, when we begin to talk to them, ask them, they were more referring to European artists than to these obvious American artists, which were, of course, included into their artistic language and their way of thinking and everywhere. But in their consciousness, they were detached